Welcome in to episode 91 of the Players Meeting of Win Dummies production. I'm the main host, Smitty. Tonight we'll be talking everything Jonesboro or Jonesboro, depending on how you want to look at it. We'll look ahead to the Kansas City Wide Open. We'll talk about our Survivor picks from last week or lack thereof. We'll make some Survivor picks, not Survivor, fantasy. We'll talk Survivor, see who's still alive. A little bit of drama, possibly on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. And we'll just have a great time, as always. Let me bring in our tonight's special guest. Back where we started, Ronaldo, what's up?
What's up, brother? Happy to be here.
Man, it's been a week for me. We are deep into track season. I got 2 track meets a week for the next 2 weeks, but dang, wearing me out.
But you can smell that summer coming now. What do you
That's
got?
the only
4
thing
weeks
that
of
makes it
school
worth
or
it.
something. Yeah.
2 more Mondays.
The rest of us,
3 more Mondays.
the rest of us real jobbers, we're working every week all year long. I'm out in Portland right now, so.
Oh, brutal. Sorry that happened.
Yeah. Well, it's rained. It's been very Portlandish the whole time. I haven't seen the sunshine yet.
Well, it's kind of Portlandish here too. It's been kind of overcast all day and not super hot. Like I wore a long sleeve t-shirt at track practice today, so we'll see. We'll see what this weekend brings. So, any disc golf in your plan? Let me answer. Nope, haven't even seen it.
I would like to get some. I'm going to be home for a while. I got a couple days in Denver next week. Then I plan to be home for about a month. So I would like to get some disc golf in. I would have loved to have played while I was out here in Portland. My hotel right here. I'm 5 minutes from Glendevere and 10 minutes from Blue Lake. So I would have loved to got some disc golf in, but it would have been in the rain anyway this week. So, but I'm hoping to get some. I'm hoping to get someone at home, man. I need to play some disc golf.
Yeah. Yep. I've done very little practicing, which is weird for me. I've played a couple of tournaments. I planned on playing one this weekend, but Jennifer's family, ex-family, had a death, and they're all going to the funeral. So I'm staying at home, chilling with the dogs, watching disc golf on the boob tube all weekend. So
that is my disc golf. That's my definite disc golf plans of the weekend. I'm gonna definitely watch what transpires up in Kansas City. So
yeah, yes, sir. All right, should we get started with the show?
Let's talk about it, man. Let's do it.
Let's start where we always start. Let's pop. What's been going on in the world of disc golf? Ronnie, we just got done with the Jonesboro Open down there in Arkansas. Any thoughts before we dig into it?
I like that golf course. I generally like that tournament because it's just most of the time it's pretty close. This weekend was not one of those. It was pretty boring from a who's going to win perspective after Saturday. So Sunday ended up not being almost not even worth watching. The dudes, at least. I will surprise you by saying I watched a fair amount of both Saturday and Sunday of the ladies.
Yeah, I know you were texting me. I didn't get to watch any of it Saturday, but I watched the whole thing on Sunday. And we went into that final round and we were pretty sure. Well, let's just save it. Let's come back to that. We'll talk about that when we get to it. But let's start here. This was great, man. This was really good for her. Hannah finally did what we've been hoping she would do for so long, and she finally made some putts that she needed to make. And we've known for years that she is fantastic off of the tee. She led the field in Circle 1 and Circle 2 in regulation, which if you can just make a few putts, dude, and you're getting more putts than anybody else, that's gotta go well towards winning.
Yeah, she did it she finally got it done. She finally won an event, but it didn't happen in the way that we had all predicted, which was You thought there would be just 1 week that she would just throw it so good that she's got, 15 or 20 drop-ins for the week, and she goes and just runs away from everybody. But that's not how it happened. She was very good from circle one all week. And particularly on Sunday, she made 25-footer after 25-footer after 25-footer when she really wasn't throwing it that great. And she won it. She won it with the putter. So it was pretty impressive to see. I'm a huge Hannah fan. So I was happy to see her get it done. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was even late in the round, I wasn't comfortable saying that she was going to win at the par 5, the over the water shot, where she that was her first circle 2 putt in 2 tournaments, I think they said. And that was a big putt at a big time.
Yep. Yeah, it was and it was after a miss that, she really didn't miss by much, and it rolled to 10 feet further than what she already was.
Mm-hmm.
And she stepped right up and threw it in. And at that point you kind of thought, well, maybe she is going to get this to the finish line. And then she just kept making them. But no, you can't ever be comfortable, especially with someone who's never won. And, in some of the ways we've seen her lose in the past, there was no way to ever be, feel like it was that solid. But she answered the bell time and time again.
I was even worried on the island hole, that little short one, because we've seen her miss those before, right? Yeah. But she was feeling it. And then was it the very next hole, the elevated basket, where she almost threw it out of bounds? And she was like 25-ish, maybe 23, 24, somewhere in there. And she put a pretty good run on it. It was high and she missed it, but it got to the basket. And even that comebacker was a little nervy for me.
Yeah, you just never unfortunately, the history doesn't allow you to feel too comfortable on anything with her. And even the one on the island hole, you're talking about the short one, she had missed one shorter than that late the week before at the Champions Cup that, ended up allowing Silva to take the lead on the next hole with a long putt and ended up being the difference. So, yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying, but I was impressed all weekend, and I was even more impressed that she was with a 2-shot lead on the last hole, laid up from less than 15 feet because there's no reason to try.
None whatsoever.
Yeah.
Holland throwing out of bounds on 18 was the first time I could finally relax and say, yeah, this chick's going to do it. And then I was hoping that she would just throw it so far down there into that water and do that. If she hit one of those trees and stayed safe short of that little crossing, the nerves would have ramped up. It would have been ridiculous, but she did the right thing. She went for it. She went out of bounds. She laid up, win. Great. Awesome for her.
Yep.
You ready to say that she's got it figured out and going to be a force?
I hope so. Obviously, I hope so. But, I mean, it's really hard to not say that the best 3 women in the division are Holland, Silva, and Owen Scoggins. But if Hannah putts and if Evelina putts, they're the 2 most talented throwers in the division, and it's really not all that close, I don't think.
I've never seen Taylor up against him, but I think she flings it pretty good as well. But
she does. She's still so raw, though. I mean, she can throw it far, but Hannah's got that real flat, hard Calvin Heimberg style of disc golf that plays everywhere. That if she can just, like, we've seen it time and time again, dude, if she can make 20-footers, she's going to be really hard to beat.
Yeah. And I think she'll be in the running again this week. I think it'll be 3 weeks in a row that she'll at least be lead card coming in, if not the last round, at least the second round, I hope. And, this course, Bad Rock has plenty of opportunity to air out the Frisbee.
Yep.
There's a little bit more trouble along the fairways on some of the open holes than there are at Jonesboro. I don't know if the greens are as treacherous. Those greens at Jonesboro have a lot of rollaway potential. And there's some of that in Kansas City as well. But the thing that Kansas City has that Jonesboro didn't have is the wooded factor.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a lot of wooded shots, and I don't know. We'll see. I don't know who I would take if I had to pick a woman. I think I'd probably go. It's hard to go against Silva, but it might be where I would go.
Yeah, and especially what we keep seeing Silva do on Sundays. Like she's just got to put herself in the mix, and she puts another gear in Sundays. So,
but I think that division's still up for grabs every single weekend, whichever one of them does it. This division, however, not up for grabs.
No. So here's I'm gonna before we dig too deep into Gannon Burr, or actually we're starting right with Gannon Burr. There was a time when obviously when Kenny dominated the sport. Every other week, people were playing for second place. There was a stretch that Paul was doing the same thing, right? When any week he didn't win was a surprise. Now, he wasn't winning like Kenny was. The competition had got considerably better by then. Now the competition is infinitely better than both of those times. And I think we're in the most dominant period I've ever seen. Like, not only is it a shock if he doesn't win, but like you expect him to make every putt. You expect I turn on a week and I think he's going to win by a half a dozen every time we start a tournament. I made a claim to you. I think the dude's going to win a dozen times in Elite Series and majors this year, which I know has to be it's got to be a record. I know. I mean, there's not that many people that have won double-digit disc golf pro tour events in total. It's
he very well could. I mean, to this point, he hasn't finished outside of second place. That's ridiculous.
And even that one, he nearly came from nowhere. Ricky had to have a great up and down to win that tournament.
Yeah, and he got beat by Nick, and he was in it. He got beat by Anthony. Did Anthony win?
Nope. The only two that he has not won this year was the first event at Paul's Place, and Ricky won by a shot, and he finished a shot behind Nick at the Champions Cup.
Wow.
So I would like to see his total score relative to par, and then the next best person total score relative to par.
Oh, if they played all the same events?
Yeah,
that would be interesting. That'd be cool. Yeah. So, let's look at the rest of the leaderboard. Isaac Robinson threw down on that final round. That dude threw down. Had he played a good first round, he may have been in the mix. I don't know. So I think what made Sunday so boring for me was all of our hope and any kind of excitement was relying on Adam Hammes. And Gannon threw not a great shot on the first hole and somehow had looked like a fairly routine chip through the woods. And Adam had a 16 to 20 footer and he missed it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that would have cut it to what, 4? And Adam missed a lot of putts. Now, had he made them, had Gannon refocused and just put the hammer down? Most likely.
Yeah. And he still finished 6 behind. So, I mean, it had taken 13 under par. It had taken the best round of the week to catch Gannon. Because, I mean, as we're watching the tournament on Sunday, people are like, oh, Gannon's giving him a chance. Gannon shot 8 under par. He didn't really give him that much of a chance.
Yeah.
He didn't look like the most unbeatable player that we've ever seen on Sunday, but he also didn't have to. There was a lot of safe in what was going on, and there was just that tournament was after about the 12th or 13th hole on Saturday. That tournament was never going to be in doubt again.
Yeah, I fell asleep during the front 9. I literally right here in this chair. woke up in my head, Bob, and I think I told you, I was like, dude, I was out. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's what we have. But we're also very lucky to see it as well.
Yep.
Some other names here in the top 10. Calvin Heimberg with another decent performance, really good performance at Jonesboro. Sullivan Tipton,
Yep.
kind of having a great year so far. Little Nick getting back in there after the major. The first like semi-household name, not name that we all know, is Zach Nash.
Yep. Yeah, good week for Zach Nash. Kyle Klein, kind of quiet,
As
7th
per the
place finish.
usual.
Yeah, he's just real same way. Chris Dickerson's having a bounce back year. Chris Dickerson's finding his way into the top 10, top 15 almost every week again. So it's he had kind of had a little bit of a down year last year, but nice to see him bouncing back.
And Bob Burge, and rounding out with Luke Taylor, who is been in the mix again. Yep. So, I don't know, man. I'm ready for us to get one of these guys that finally breaks through and wins it. So,
who do you think is the next? Who's the next first-time winner?
Man, I've had this conversation with multiple guests, and it seems to me, in my opinion, that I want to say it's going to be Goose, just because I think he's going to get hot and he's going to make his putts. But how can you not say Sullivan Tipton has a shot, or Luke Taylor? These guys are constantly up there in the top 10 or 15. So I don't know, man. It's as long as Gannon Burr's there, it's going to be hard for anybody to get one. But
that's fair enough.
So, and he's going to play all of them.
Yeah.
Now, does that thing in Emporia or the one in Waco, the Jomez tour, or do those count? Like, is Gannon going to that?
Elite Series and major, dude. It's got to happen on the Pro Tour or a major, dude. It's not that we don't care about those other tours, because it's still good disc golf that's going on there, but it's not the Pro Tour, right? It's not that it doesn't count, but it kind of doesn't count.
It does count if Gannon Bird's there, though.
Okay, but even then, he's a competitive dude and he wants to win every week, but he's not as, you can't tell me he's as juiced up as he is to go play a Pro Tour event.
From the interviews I'm watching, he feels like he's going to win every tournament. He's confident enough to say that. He also feels like he could blow it on a round, which was a little shocking to me to hear him say that. He's like, "Hey, dude, eventually it's bound to happen." He said that to Brody and Yulee last night.
I think that's him attempting to show some humility, because
I don't know.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I think if he loses a Sunday lead or something, it's because someone like Isaac Robinson or one of those guys goes and shoots some ridiculous score that just, posts a number that he can't get to.
We'll see. So we got to hope for something to happen.
I'd say just let him. I'm almost, I'm almost ready to resign to the fact he's just going to win them all, and let's just watch it happen.
What about this side of heaven? Do you like the way it played out?
I like Jonesboro, dude. I know some people say it's a little bit boring, but I actually like that course. I think that course and Kansas City, really similar golf courses, style of golf anyway. I enjoy it.
Yeah. What do you think about the change to 18, where if you throw it out of bounds off the tee, you go to that downhill drop zone putt? Doesn't it make it a 4 at worst hole instantly?
Yeah, I mean, it should for most of the that level of players. It's almost a 2 or 4 hole now. So yeah, I mean, I would prefer not to have that. I think it makes it more of an exciting finish, especially if we have more than a shot or two to be the gap. But I mean, at 430 feet, that's not that hard of a shot for the best players. I would guess that less than a third of the players went out of bounds at all.
That's hard to tell. I'd like to see them maybe throw their second from the women's tee or a shorter spot short of the island, like where they have to land, just so they would end up with some tester putts for the 4, because if all they have to do is get up and down from that drop zone, those guys are never going to blow that. It's too easy.
No, it's never going to be worse than a 4. Even if you run it and get a roll. I mean, the only way you would get worse than a 4 is if you run it and get a roll away and roll in the water or something.
Skip off the top, anything weird like that. It'd take something freaky.
I think you bring that drop zone back another 40 feet on the other side of the water, and at least have the trees and the water back in play. So, an epic collapse could happen. But other than that, I mean, I like Jonesboro. I think it's a good track.
Okay, well, the last thing on this event, and you didn't even know about it, on the Jomez coverage, lead guard was playing hole 14, the par 5, and Gavin Babcock was putting on 18. And as they were showing the action, Gavin airballed his putt on 18, and Yuli brought it up, and German Yuli had a little giggle about it. And I don't know if Gavin's really mad or if he's just I don't know. I don't know Gavin at all. But he says basically, maybe run your mouths less and try to cash for once. Classic move from the old guys. What do you think? Should Yuli and Germ bring up something that's happening in the background from a guy who's not even involved?
I don't know. You can see it happening, so it's not like it didn't catch somebody else's eye too. But I would caution Gavin Babcock to run his mouth too much. You're talking about a couple of guys that are going to the Hall of Fame as soon as they're eligible. And Gavin Babcock's best contribution to disc golf so far is being a friend of Gannon Burr. So let's probably let the old guys have their laugh a little bit. Old guys are disc golfers too.
Yeah, I think I don't have a problem with them bringing it up and having fun with it. That's kind of the point of post-production, is to get a little silly and to have a little bit of fun. And I saw one spot where Yuli responded with, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe we should. So I don't think Yuli's mad about it by any means, but I don't know that Germ cares either. But I think it's a much to do about nothing, really.
Yeah, I have a heart. I was surprised it was even a thing. I didn't even know about it. So, like, you're calling out a couple of guys that one is already eligible to play in an age protected division, and the other one's getting real close. And
no, they both are, I believe.
You're 12 years old and you feel bulletproof. I get it, but remember, those guys were pretty dominant back when they were your age too. So let's maybe not throw stones too far.
Yeah, it was fun. It gave me something to read yesterday and whatever. Whoops, what's going on there? Let's put this on there. All right. We're live this weekend in Kansas City at Bad Rock Creek, sponsored by Nexus, which is a couple of my buddies, JT and Pete Cashin and Rich Smith are the driving force behind Nexus. All three great dudes. Rich, we had on our podcast. Pete, I've been trying to get on the podcast forever. And JT would come on if we ever asked him. But just good dudes sponsoring, what is it, 44? That's a lot of tournaments, Ronnie.
It's a long-running event, man. It's there was a time when KCWO was one of the premier events in the entire country. So still, I mean, it's still has bounced back and forth between A tiers and pro tours for a long time. So, yeah, I mean it's one of the kind of the crown jewels for the non majors and it has been for a very long time.
And I'm guessing you probably haven't watched any of the practice rounds or looked at any of that. You probably haven't had time.
No, I've been working, so I haven't got anything. I'm going to check out some tomorrow on a couple of flights home. So I'll be.
Well, this is one of the only changes that I saw. I watched Rick's on double time this afternoon during my playing time, and this was the only change I saw. This is hole 13, 410 feet. That is about, it looks like it's about a 45-foot ramp up to the top. And you can see on the course map that everything else is OB, or I think there's some hazard area as well. But that's that basket's pretty much on the edge of the ramp. So that's the only major change that I've seen. I don't remember the hole before, how it played out, but I don't remember seeing this. So
I don't remember seeing this either. And just looking at the whole graphic and then that picture, my initial thought would be, don't like it. That looks to me a little too much like goofy golf for the Pro Tour.
It may have been the one that was like the turtleback before. There may have been a little hump there. It's not the one with the two telephone poles. That thing is still there. That's in the front nine, I believe.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't remember this one. And yeah, to have that kind of drop. Like there's that safe. It looks like there's a safe area short. Like you could play short and just pitch.
Nobody will. No,
nobody will. It's 400 feet. These guys are throwing mid ranges at that. So
yeah.
I don't know that I like it, dude. There's going to be a whole bunch of I don't think I like it, but we'll see how it plays out.
We'll see how it plays out. It may be great. It may add some excitement to the back nine. Well, this is last year's results. Gannonburr, no shock winner. Ricky coming in second, and then on down the list to a lot of names that we're pretty used to seeing on the men's side, and
the usual suspects,
usual dudes. And then the ladies was Holland, and this is where we really had our cadence breakout last year.
Yep.
Ella, Missy, Owen, none of the Finns were here last year, so you can go ahead and bump 3 of those people out and make room for the Finns would be my guess.
Yeah, and Cadence isn't playing real well so far this year.
Oh, she's not playing at all right now. She's hurt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. She is hurt. So, that Holland's going to be in the mix. She's good enough, but yeah, I think you got 3 Finns that are, that are always going to be there, especially if the 2 that struggle with the putter cannot. They're, like we talked earlier, they're going to be there too.
Yeah. Well, I think they'll be there regardless. I think it's enough of a thrower's track. So, all right. Well, I'm glad you're here because it's time to talk skip ace.
How'd we do last week?
Well, your boy messed up. I got off the show with Knopf, and I was really excited about our squad. I thought we were going to do really good, and I didn't enter our team. In fact, I didn't realize I didn't enter the team until part of the way through the first round. I thought, oh, I wonder how our team is doing. And I went and looked, and we didn't have a team.
You told me that. I wasn't too disappointed. I know the sponsors pick was not great. He was a middle of the Packers. So,
who'd you pick last week?
I took Vino.
Oh yeah,
I think he finished like right
now.
Yeah.
So, all right.
We're gonna enter a lineup this week.
Yes, we're gonna get a team. We are gonna get a team. So here we go. The KC Wide Open. Do you have any picks right off the top that you want to go with?
We're gonna start with a bang.
All right.
I'm gonna take a dude that has been on our show. Not this
Luke
one,
Humphreys.
but I'm not taking Luke Humphreys. I heard that's bad business these days right now. Luke's not playing real well.
Look, Markle.
Negative.
All right, who you got?
So actually wasn't on this show. It was on the KGA show. Landon Carver.
Yes, he was.
966 rated. This kid won the qualifier on Monday and shot 1040, 3 under par for 1040 rated. I will take a 1040 from a 966 guy. Let's do it. Now we got some money to some money to spend.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Not the normal sponsors pick. But Ronald, I'm going to give it some more money to spend. Because I'm going to take the other Monday qualifier, Mr. TJ Real, coming in at 1,006. Now, here's why I'm taking him. Not just because he was the Monday qualifier, but he's better than 1,006.
Absolutely.
He was tournaments that I know of. He was in the mix late at Monkey Island with Prezi, and there's a lot of good players there. He played really well at where was it? Oh, at Lawrence. I think he won that. Wakarusa, and then he won, I believe, the next day in Independence. And he's been in the mix all year long. He throws it far enough, both spins, and I think at 1,006, we're going to get more value out of him. And he's a steal.
I'm digging it. I'm here for it. I like it.
All right.
I'm going to give us a little bit of more money to spend. I normally don't get to take more than one pick, so I'm kind of digging this. I'm going to take a dude that has been a steal at his number too, 1018, and give me Gavin Phillips and all of his hair.
Yes, sir. Oops, something's going on there.
That dude has been kind of a little bit sneaky great this year.
And he said he's still 1,018?
Yeah. He's got 3 top 20s in his last 4 Pro Tour events.
Okay. Well, that's 3 dudes.
Look at that average we got left, buddy. Look at who we got some folks now.
Yes, we do. And oh boy.
You gonna do it?
What, Gamber?
I mean, it's available to you.
Yeah, so is Isaac Robinson. And so is Kyle Klein. And so is Anthony
We can
Barella.
look, I think the math will work out. We can take all 3.
What?
Let's punch it. I'll tell you what. Just for play's sake, let's put in Gannonburg. Now let's put in Kyle Klein at 1041. We have any player in the field that we want.
What a squad.
So the question is, do we want Isaac Robinson? Do we want the Heimbergler? Do we want Little Nick?
Do we want Rick?
You could go with Ricky. I mean, you have your choice, and then we can go back and look.
Rick looked terrible in his practice round.
So he's a shoe-in for a top 5 then.
I think we got to go Vinny.
Vinny's really been kind of underrated this year, to be honest. No wins, but, look at who has one.
What is he, 1050, what was it?
1049. So how much do we have left over?
9.
So we could go upgrade someone if you wanted to.
We could upgrade Gavin, TJ, or Landon. We're not going to get anything worth 9 more than Landon.
No, I like that. So
And
if we wanted to, we could take Ezra Aderhold, Harper Thompson, Braden Sides, something like that. I'm going to tell you what. I think we stand pat.
Leave the 9 on the table.
I think we leave. I think we leave $9 on the table because I think we've got 3 that are going to finish in the top 10, and another one that has a chance.
Wow, man! All right, there it is.
Now make sure let's enter that. Make sure we get that put in.
Yeah, I will. As soon as we get done, I'll go enter that. Oh,
Landon, thanks to Landon Carver. Look at the team we got.
Hey, if we come out on top, we'll get Landon Carver on the show.
Done.
If he scores positive points. That is awesome. That's fun. All right, let's get rid of that. That's the fastest I've ever picked a team that's going to win. Usually it's a struggle and we walk away and I'm like, why do we have that? Well, there was some other side action over the weekend. Yes, there was. There was the old fantasy reboot. And we only lost 2 out of our fairly small field. Well, we actually lost 3 because Knopper paid and didn't put a team in. Didn't pick a player. So he couldn't be mad at me for our skip base. He told me that. But we lost Jason Zimmerman and Artie. They both went Rick, which bad weekend for Rick. Lost him. All the rest of us are back in and live to fight another day. And everybody except for Schaefer and Darren Bottom better take Gannonburg and survive another week.
Well, I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag on my pick this week. I took Gannonburg.
And so did I. I'll see you in week 3, Ronnie.
I'm not gonna go 2 weeks in a row without taking Gannonburg. I'm not taking that chance.
I went out last time and still had Gannonburg, I believe. So those of you fantasy or survivor players, if you haven't got your pick in yet, get it in. Jordan shared the link. That's just so much fun getting on that thing and just talking smack on the side. I love it. So, and it's fun to be back into it. I was out for a long time. I
didn't make it past the first week.
I don't think I did last time.
I took Anthony Barella in the first week at Paul's place, and he finished outside. So,
all right. Well, anything more on the KC Wide Open or Jonesboro?
No, I think we talked Jonesboro enough. I'm excited to watch Wide Open. Like I said, I don't know if I'll get a plane to disc golf this weekend. Storms look like they might happen back home, but I'm definitely gonna be watching a bunch of Kansas City.
The only day that looks like rain or looks like anything bad for them is Sunday, and it's thunderstorms late, but rain most likely most of the day. So they should get the first 2 rounds in, no problem. That's what happened last year. Is they had a couple of rain delays, and I think they only played a final 9.
Well, I mean, April in our part of the world can be pretty dicey when it comes to storms. So it's hard to get 3 or 4 days in a row without seeing something.
Yes, sir. Well, all right. Well, that gets us to the last segment of the show, the segment where Ronnie takes a deep dive into the things that everybody is talking about. Ronnie gets to decide if this is a big deal or if it's, big deal, bro. I don't know if you saw this or not, Ronnie, but Steppo Paiu is now the European captain for Team Discraft. And the statement from this that is the most important to me is it's a mission to build the strongest European disc golf team there has ever been. Big deal? Yeah, big deal, bro.
Well, I mean, just having a player like Seppu that's doing it is it makes it at least, intriguing for sure. I mean, he was one of the best players of his generation, and what I find most interesting is where is he going to pull these players from? Is this a Discmania raid? Because you have some really good Europeans that are on that team. I wonder how aggressive Discraft is going to be to steal some of those best European players, and most of them reside with either Innova or Discmania. So, where does the talent pool come from?
Well, there's also a lot of bad dudes on Latitude.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Right? Lowry Lettinen.
Yep.
So, and how aggressive is Discraft going to be? Very.
Well, they've proven it, right? They've got the most elite team in disc golf that doesn't have Gannon Bird and Nicholas Ansela on it. So yeah, hey Danny G, I would not be stunned to see little Nick throwing Discraft, and I don't know what his signature disc would be, but I bet this guy would probably pick it up.
Yeah, I bet you would too. So yeah, I think. Well, you didn't tell me. Big deal. I'm taking it.
I think so. Yeah, man. I think Discraft going in, they're not afraid to sponsor the best players in the world. So and having Seppu doing it on the other side of the pond, I think is great. I think it is a big deal.
Yeah, I think it's a huge deal because I think outside of currently little Nick, Seppu's probably the most notable European player. We had Marcus Schallstrom.
Yeah.
We had Jasper Lundmark.
Simon.
Yeah, but is Simon still European?
Not now. No, not. I mean, I guess, but he'll always be a German. But I see what you're saying. Yeah, like guys that are full time there. Yeah, I hear you.
But yeah, I think Seppu's going to have the ability to get in these guys' ears. He's probably already buddies with them. Mm-hmm. I think things are going to get shaken up next year. I think we're going to see some dudes jumping ship, and Discraft going to take what's already the strongest team out there and make it even stronger and get a whole bunch more second places.
Yeah, because they're not going to get that guy. Yet. That could be too, right? But no, I think it is a big deal. I think, and as a fan of Discraft, I dig it.
It's going to be fun. Can't wait to see how the off season shakes out. 7 tournaments into this year. So
let's at least get to summer before we start worrying about the off season.
Yeah, but it's going to be awesome. It is going to be awesome. So, you got any shout outs to give?
Man, I don't think that I have any this week. My brain's too fried on other stuff. I don't know who it would be. So I'm going to say no.
Okay, I got some. My guy Jesse Steele.
Good looking shirt.
Us up with the artwork for the Fling, which is coming up. We've got Upside Down, Orbit Sapphires. A couple of colors of those. They feel pretty nice. Sapphire's like a 150 class disc. We've got these are glow fuses, so an understable mid-range.
Okay.
We've got
slick
Opto Sinus, so a meat hook mid-range.
I bet you'll have some fans of those.
But I have a feeling this guy is going to go the quickest.
That's pretty.
Royal Ride.
Oh, yeah.
Latitude 64, House of Disc, whatever. But Latitude 64 was the tournament sponsor for the Fling, which is only a few weeks out and only has 25 players, something like that. The thing has been known to fill in the past,
Yeah.
and I still anticipate it'll fill. I think it'll just be late, kind of like tournaments are now. We are at for the fling on May the 16th, 26 of 80. So it'll get there. My tournament the weekend before that in Manhattan, which we also have some great discs and shirts for, is 44 of 72, so over halfway. And the Toodle Toss, 53. That baby's gonna fill.
I think all three of them are going to get there. The last two, especially, and even up there. I mean, I don't remember the last time that the fling didn't fill. Really, I mean that's been a historically full tournament. I bet that one fills the week before the event. So
yeah, well, here's the deal: as long as there's spots available and we're not close to filling, people are just going to wait. And if it looks like we're going to get rained on or it's going to be 9 million degrees, maybe I'll make a game time decision. Versus if we're at 75 people and we got 5 spots left, they're going to be gone because I don't want to get left out. So
we got FOMO then. Well, I'm going to tell everybody, get signed up.
Yeah, they will.
Get signed up.
They will. So, yeah, man, it's going to be school's going to get out and my disc golf job is going to start.
Hey, man, you know what that also means? It's almost May, which means school's almost out, which means the Wample is coming soon.
I know. I can't wait. I can't wait. Just another thing we got to get figured out. So, all right, dude. Well, that's it. Danny, thanks for being in the chat. Ross, thanks for being in the chat. I'm going to get out of here and go put our picks in.
Yeah, let's do that. Appreciate that.
All right. Go, man.
We'll see you later.